My child, my beloved, let these words meet you gently. You may feel as though something inside you has been waiting for a moment like this, a moment to become still. Breathe deeply and remember that God has not forgotten your name. Perhaps you did not arrive here by accident in the emotional sense. Something within you may have been searching for clarity, comfort, or direction, and this message has reached you at a time when your heart is finally ready to listen. Imagine Jesus speaking your name with compassion. Let that image remind you that your life matters to God. You do not need dramatic signs to prove that heaven sees you. Sometimes the deepest shift begins quietly inside the heart. The next few moments can become meaningful if you choose to be fully present. Not because a secret spiritual clock is counting down, but because awareness creates room for truth that constant distraction can easily drown out. You may feel as though a veil is lifting because something you have avoided is becoming clearer. Perhaps a prayer, a decision, a relationship, or a long-standing question is finally ready to be examined with greater honesty. You have asked for signs before. You have asked for clarity. You have carried private tears and questions that no one around you fully understood. God saw those moments, even when no immediate answer came. Imagine Archangel Michael standing beside you as a symbol of courage, saying, "You do not need to remain afraid of what truth may reveal. You are strong enough now to look clearly at what your next season requires. Let this message become a reminder rather than a guarantee." Something new may be approaching your life, but you do not need to assume every unusual feeling or coincidence is supernatural proof of what will happen next. Instead, pay attention to what is becoming clearer within you. Notice the boundaries you need, the habits that need changing, the opportunities worth exploring, and the relationships that consistently bring either peace or confusion. Beloved, stop scrolling for one quiet moment. Close your eyes if it helps. Breathe slowly and say within yourself, "God, I am ready to hear what is true. Give me wisdom to recognize what belongs in my life and courage to release what does not." Let those words become your spiritual key in a practical sense. Prayer can open your attention, soften your defenses, and help you become more honest about what you already know but have been afraid to face. You are not the miracle because everything will suddenly change around you. The miracle may be that after everything you endured, you still have the capacity to believe, heal, choose differently, and keep moving forward. Something may indeed be breaking open for you. It could be clarity, opportunity, forgiveness, renewed confidence, or the courage to finally take a step you have delayed for too long. And something may also be breaking off from you. Fear, self-doubt, unhealthy attachment, the need for constant approval, or the belief that your past has permanent authority over your future. Think of the battle ending not as proof that every difficulty has disappeared, but as the moment you stop allowing the same old struggle to control your identity. The blessing moving toward you may arrive through ordinary channels, a conversation, an idea, support from another person, a new opportunity, or simply the peace to make a decision you once felt unable to make. Stay open, but stay discerning. Let what comes next be confirmed through truth, character, wisdom, and peace. What is genuinely good for you does not need panic or manipulation to convince you that it belongs. My child, heaven does not need to frighten you into receiving grace. Let this moment awaken you gently. Your name is known. Your prayers matter. and your next chapter can begin through one honest, faithful step taken with your eyes open. Yes, your name echoed in the courts of heaven. And when that happened, chains began to shatter. Beloved, you've been chosen for this exact hour. You might not see it, but heaven sees you crowned already. Your home is about to feel the presence of angels. Your room, your hands, your voice, your steps, everything is shifting. And let me say this boldly. This isn't just a feeling. This is a divine appointment. Jesus didn't just whisper your name. He declared it. He spoke it with power. He called you His. And when heaven calls you, no force on earth can uncall you. The darkness that's followed you, it's already retreating. The confusion being replaced with divine clarity. The delay, it's turning into divine acceleration. Listen closely. What I say now is urgent. You must not walk away from this message because in the next few lines, you will hear words that open spiritual doors. Doors that no man can close. Doors that have been locked for generations until now. Until you. You are not who they thought you were. You are not even who you used to be. You are becoming what you were always meant to become. The breakthrough you thought was too far away. It's now at the edge of your atmosphere. Angels are already moving. A name was spoken. Your name, beloved. You are about to receive a scroll, invisible to others, but glowing in your spirit. A scroll that contains instruction, favor, protection, and promise. Heaven is not silent about you anymore, and I, Archangel Michael, have been dispatched to announce. Time is collapsing. The divine is arriving, and you must prepare. You've felt the shaking. You've sensed something coming. That wasn't imagination. That was preparation. You are not late. You are exactly on divine time. And now I must tell you something few ever get to hear. But you are being counted among the few because you carry a light that cannot be hidden. This light will soon touch everything you do, every word you speak, every room you enter. People will feel the change. They will wonder what shifted. They will ask what happened. And you will simply smile because you will know heaven happened, beloved child. You are walking out of the ordinary and into the divine. And this message is the trumpet announcing your arrival. Keep listening because the next line contains a divine decision. Jesus spoke your name, and immediately your situation came under divine review. Every delay you've suffered, every betrayal you endured, every heartbreak you hid is now being rewritten into restoration. Heaven is reversing the script, and your story will not end in sorrow. It will end in a divine wonder. You were not meant to survive only. You were meant to rise. And I say this clearly. You are rising now. Beloved, I need you to do one thing before I continue. Take a deep breath and whisper, I receive what is mine. Because from this moment forward, heaven is treating you like royalty. You are walking into favor that makes no earthly sense. You are walking into rooms you didn't apply for. Doors are opening for you that no one else could unlock. And why? Because your name was spoken. Because your name was heard. Because your spirit said yes to heaven. Beloved, this message is your confirmation. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not small. You are written in golden letters on heaven's scroll. You are not reading this because you're curious. You're reading this because your spirit is being activated. And right now, as these words reach your soul, I tell you, you are stepping into the chapter called Finally. Finally, the answer. Finally, the peace. Finally, the blessing. Finally, the justice. And yes, finally, the miracle, the beloved child. Heaven has waited on this moment for you. You have carried so much for so long, but now heaven carries you. Let this be your confirmation. This is not an ordinary hour. This is divine alignment, and I must tell you, there is more, much more. So, pause here if you need to, but when you're ready, say, Archangel Michael, I'm ready to know what else heaven has written for me. Beloved child, you just crossed into holy ground. What is happening right now in your life is no longer under human control. Heaven has taken over. And why? Because your name was spoken. Because your name was heard. Because your spirit said yes to heaven. Beloved, this message is your confirmation. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not small. You are written in golden letters on heaven's scroll. You are not reading this because you're curious. You're reading this because your spirit is being activated. And right now, as these words reach your soul, I tell you, you are stepping into the chapter called Finally. Finally, the answer. Finally, the peace. Finally, the blessing. Finally, the justice. And yes, finally, the miracle, the beloved child. Heaven has waited on this moment for you. You have carried so much for so long, but now heaven carries you. Let this be your confirmation. This is not an ordinary hour. This is divine alignment. And I must tell you, there is more, much more. So pause here if you need to, but when you're ready, say, Archangel Michael, I'm ready to know what else heaven has written for me. Beloved child, you just crossed into holy ground. What is happening right now in your life is no longer under human control. Heaven has taken over. The moment Jesus whispered your name, every force working against you began to lose power. Let me tell you something the enemy never wanted you to know. The delay wasn't denial. The delay was divine protection. You were being preserved, not punished. They thought you were forgotten. They thought you were finished. But God hid you for a reason, because what you carry is sacred. And sacred things are never thrown into crowds. They are unveiled at divine timing. Beloved, that timing is now. You are being unveiled. Heaven is lifting the cover off your destiny, and the light of your calling is blinding the very forces that tried to stop you. You've been through warfare that would have crushed others, but you didn't break. You bent, but you didn't fall. That strength wasn't natural. It was supernatural. That was angel standing beside you. That was God's hand holding your breath through the storm. You asked why they left. You asked why they betrayed. You asked why it hurt so much. Let me answer you now. They couldn't stay for what's about to happen next, because what is coming is too sacred for unclean hearts. What is coming is too holy for impure intentions. You cried when they walked away, but heaven rejoiced because now it's just you and God. And beloved, when it's just you and God, that's when miracles multiply. Let me be clear. Heaven did not forget your tears. The pillow knows. The walls know. But most of all, God knows. And now those silent tears have become golden prayers stored in bowls above. and one by one they are tipping over your life. You are not just receiving one answer. You are receiving overflow. More than you asked, more than you imagined, because you stayed when it was hard, and because you stayed. Now the heavens are moving for you. I must tell you what is happening in the spirit realm, because it will explain the shifts you're already feeling. There is a sound of horses. There are scrolls being unsealed. There are angels being assigned, and in the middle of this holy movement, your name is written in gold. That is why you feel the shaking. That is why you feel something is coming. It's not just change. It's destiny. Let this message go deep into your bones. The same voice that created galaxies just spoke your name. That voice carries resurrection power. That voice silences storms. That voice walks on water. And now that voice has called you. You are no longer trying. You are now being carried. Heaven is sending help. Heaven is sending alignment. Heaven is sending unexpected restoration. Not because you're perfect, but because you are marked. You were marked before you were born. You were marked when they rejected you. You were marked when you felt unworthy. And now you are rising not in pride, but in divine purpose. They tried to bury you, but they forgot you are a seed. And what happens to a seed in darkness? It grows. It takes root, and then it breaks through. Beloved, you are breaking through, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. The chains are gone. The doors are open. The light is returning. The sound of celebration is echoing from heaven to earth to your home. The reason this message found you now is because the countdown has begun. Heaven's clock has started, and the shift is already here. You don't need to force it. You don't need to beg. You only need to say yes. Say yes to the new beginning. Say yes to the favor. Say yes to the inheritance. Say yes to being chosen. Because ready or not, you are being elevated. Beloved, the time of being hidden is over. Now you will be seen, but not for your pain. You will be seen for your divine purpose. They will look again. They will wonder how it happened. They will ask who helped you. And your answer will be simple. God did it. This is not ordinary success. This is divine transformation. Let me tell you what's coming next and why you must stay until the final line of this message. Because the angels are releasing something word by word. Within the next days, there will be signs, unexpected messages, divine alignments. Doors that don't make human sense will swing open. You will know it's from heaven because you won't have to chase it. It will come to you. This is the reward for your stillness. This is the promise being fulfilled. This is the oil of joy replacing the ashes. I, Archangel Michael, have been assigned to stand beside you, to shield you from what's coming against your name, to war for your destiny, to break the curses that lingered in your bloodline. No more. It ends here with you. You are not like the ones before you. You are the breaker. You are the shift. You are the answered prayer of generations. Do not doubt it. Do not shrink. Do not return to small places. You have been called higher, and the air is different up here. You may feel dizzy. You may feel alone. They will look again. They will wonder how it happened. They will ask who helped you. And your answer will be simple. God did it. This is not ordinary success. This is divine transformation. let me tell you what's coming next, and why you must stay until the final line of this message, because the angels are releasing something word by word. Within the next days, there will be signs, unexpected messages, divine alignments. Doors that don't make human sense will swing open. You will know it's from heaven because you won't have to chase it. It will come to you. This is the reward for your stillness. This is the promise being fulfilled. This is the oil of joy replacing the ashes. I, Archangel Michael, have been assigned to stand beside you to shield you from what's coming against your name, to war for your destiny, to break the curses that lingered in your bloodline no more. It ends here with you. You are not like the ones before you. You are the breaker. You are the shift. You are the answered prayer of generations. Do not doubt it. Do not shrink. Do not return to small places. You have been called higher, and the air is different up here. You may feel dizzy. You may feel alone. But do not fear. This is what divine elevation feels like. And soon your footing will find stability because God is setting your feet upon solid ground. Beloved, let me pause and ask you, have you subscribed to what heaven is sending you daily? Because when you subscribe to God's voice, every day becomes prophetic. Every moment becomes miracle-rich. Say it aloud. I subscribe to heaven and feel the shift begin again. Now let's continue, because heaven isn't done talking. There is a name that tried to curse you. There is a situation that tried to bury you. There is a lie that tried to define you. But now, truth is stepping in. God is rewriting the label. He is tearing up the false report. He is replacing every cruel word with divine words of favor. The lie is losing power. The label is losing grip. The shame is melting away. You are not your past. You are not what they said. You are not what happened to you. You are chosen. You are protected. You are on time, beloved. The chapter you are walking into will feel unfamiliar, but that's because you've never lived in freedom before. You've never walked in fullness. You've never seen what it feels like to be truly backed by heaven until now. You are no longer asking for the door. You are walking through it. And behind that door, there is abundance. There is love. There is clarity. There is peace that no human can take away. And the most powerful part, you will carry this peace into rooms that are still in chaos. You will become the shift. Not because you're trying to be anything, but because you are finally being everything you were created to be. Beloved, let the tears come. They are holy. They are healing you. They are washing away the old season. This message is not just emotional. It is spiritual. Your spirit is waking up, and soon you will not recognize yourself because what you are becoming is too glorious for your past to contain. Let me say this boldly. You are not waiting for a blessing. You are the blessing, and the world is about to find out. The angels are rejoicing already because your yes today has unlocked the next phase. Now, beloved, the battle you've been fighting was not just about your present. It was about your future. It was about your name. It was about the generations after you. But you must know this truth now. You've already won. The victory is echoing through the halls of heaven. And every enemy that whispered lies into your sleep, every shadow that danced around your joy, every storm that made you question your worth is now dissolving into nothing. because Jesus said your name, and when he did, your case was handed to angels. Your file was opened in heaven, and what was written over your life was this favor beyond logic. They won't understand how it happened. They won't know why the closed doors flew open. They'll wonder how someone like you rose so quickly. But heaven will know, because heaven did it. And you will walk with the quiet authority of someone who was crowned by fire, someone who was baptized in pain but came out drenched in purpose. The world broke you to bury you, but God used it to plant you. And now you are growing, wildly, boldly, unstoppably beloved. This is not your final form. This is only the beginning. The glow that's coming to your face will be noticed. The grace on your hands will be felt. The fire in your voice will awaken sleeping souls, because you are not just walking into blessing. You are becoming the blessing. Let me tell you something secret. Some angels have never left your side. They were assigned when you were still in your mother's womb. They watched over you when you lost yourself. They whispered strength when you wanted to quit. And now they are rejoicing because their assignment is about to be fulfilled. Beloved child, heaven has invested heavily in you. Not because, beloved, heaven is not only looking at who you were, it is watching who you are becoming. And now there is one instruction your heart needs to hear clearly. Do not go back to the places that required you to abandon yourself just to remain accepted. Do not return to rooms that constantly demanded you become smaller. Do not dim your voice to make other people comfortable. Do not reshape yourself around expectations that repeatedly pulled you away from peace, truth, and healthy growth. You do not need to call yourself superior to recognize that certain environments no longer fit you. Growth naturally changes what you can tolerate, what you value, and what kind of relationships or spaces support the person you are becoming. Perhaps some people misunderstood you because they only knew an earlier version of you. Others may have mocked what they could not understand, or walked away when your boundaries became stronger. Their reactions do not determine your worth. Not every rejection was caused by some mysterious anointing, but every painful experience can still teach you something. You now know more clearly where respect was missing, where you ignored warning signs, and where you gave too much simply to remain included. God saw those seasons. He saw the moments when you kept going without applause, when you chose integrity while no one noticed, and when you slowly rebuilt yourself after circumstances stripped away your confidence. Imagine a crown being placed over your life, not a crown of ego or superiority, but one representing humility, perseverance, worship, responsibility, and the wisdom earned through everything you survived. That kind of crown does not make you better than other people. It reminds you that suffering did not have the final word. You can carry strength without arrogance and confidence without forgetting compassion. You are not simply entering a different season. You are developing a different identity, one less controlled by fear, approval, and the need to explain yourself to everyone who disagrees with your choices. Some things that seem delayed may begin moving because you are finally prepared to respond differently. But do not interpret every opportunity as divinely guaranteed. Let prayer, evidence, timing, and wisdom help you decide what deserves your yes. There were moments when you lost sight of yourself. Perhaps encouragement came through prayer, scripture, trusted people, or an unexpected reserve of strength you did not know you still possessed. Let those memories remind you that you have never made this journey completely alone. God has met you in ways both visible and quiet, and now you can carry forward what those seasons taught you. Heaven has invested in who you are becoming through every lesson you chose to learn. So protect that growth. Do not willingly return to patterns that you already know leave you exhausted, voiceless, or disconnected from yourself. If a past relationship or environment reappears, do not reject it automatically, but examine whether anything has actually changed. Look for accountability, consistency, respect, and behavior that confirms growth rather than promises that only sound different. Do not shrink simply because someone preferred you easier to control. At the same time, remain humble enough to listen when trustworthy people offer honest feedback. Strength and teachability can exist together. My child, the fire you walked through gave you experience, but it does not need to become your entire identity. Keep the wisdom and release the need to keep proving how much you survived. Let the crown symbolize what comes after the fire: a quieter confidence, a steadier faith, clearer boundaries, and the ability to walk into new spaces without begging them to recognize your value. This new season begins when you stop returning to what continually asks you to betray the person you are becoming. Walk forward with humility, courage, worship, and discernment. You do not need average spaces or extraordinary spaces. You need healthy ones. Choose the places where your faith can deepen, your character can grow, your voice can remain intact, and your peace does not constantly have to fight for survival. You are entering a new identity. Everything you thought was delayed is now rushing toward you with divine urgency, because what was once resisted is now being commanded to find you. Miracles will follow you. Favor will surround you. Provision will chase you. You will no longer beg. You will no longer plead. You will no longer doubt your worth because now you know. You were chosen before time, set apart for something holy. And no power in hell can cancel what God ordained. Beloved, this part is crucial. You must release the weight, the shame, the guilt, the regret. You must release the should-haves and the what-ifs because they are not welcome in the life God is writing for you. Now you are free. Free to become. Free to be loved. Free to receive. Let those words settle into your bones. You are free. Heaven is not just watching. Heaven is participating. God is not just listening. God is moving. And I, Archangel Michael, am standing at your side, sword drawn, wings open, light blazing. Because what's ahead of you requires protection. But don't worry, I've already been assigned. No arrow will find you. No weapon will prosper. No curse will land. No shadow will stay. You are covered. You are safe. You are seen. Beloved, take this next breath like a prophecy. Let it fill you. Let it steady you. Let it awaken you. Because you are rising. Even if your legs shake, you are still rising. Even if your voice trembles, speak anyway. The world is waiting to hear the sound of your becoming. You were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to blaze. Let your fire burn again. Let your light be known again. Let your name be spoken again. In heaven and on earth, because it is your time. You waited. You endured. You stayed faithful. Now you are being rewarded. The tests were real, but so is the triumph. The heartbreak was real, but so is the healing. And you are being healed right now, in places you didn't even know were bleeding, because this message is not just words. It is oil. It is balm. It is prophecy. It is heaven's decree over your life. And you must hold this close. Everything is changing. Everything is aligning. Everything is finally turning. This is not hype. This is holy. And heaven does not lie. Beloved child, you have been entrusted with this word because you were ready to carry it. This is not for everyone. This is for the chosen. And yes, that includes you. Do not doubt again. Do not second guess your place. God placed you here in this time, in this hour. In this divine awakening, now walk boldly. The path is opening beneath your feet. What once was unclear will now be illuminated. Heaven is lighting every step. You are not walking alone. You are being guided by glory. And with every breath you take, the atmosphere is shifting in your favor. Angels are going before you. Heaven is your rear guard. God is your shield. The Spirit is your counselor. And I, Michael, I am your watchman. No eye has seen, no ear has heard what is about to unfold in your life, but heaven has seen it, and it is glorious. This message was your signal, and from this moment on, you will never be the same. Beloved, heaven heard your name, and now the earth will hear it too. Prepare for acceleration. Prepare for abundance. Prepare for peace. Prepare for love. Prepare for miracles, because it's already on the way, and it's carrying your name. My beloved, if you're still here, it's because your spirit knows this is real. Because heaven's whisper is louder than all the noise in the world. And this message was timed perfectly for you. You've crossed a threshold that many walk past, but you didn't scroll away. You didn't rush. You stayed. And that alone is prophetic for those who stay. Heaven always pours more. And now more is being poured into your life. The oil of peace, the oil of strength, the oil of unstoppable favor. Beloved child, there's a reason people didn't understand your silence. They didn't know it was in your silence that God was building your voice. There's a reason you were hidden. It wasn't punishment. It was protection. There's a reason things didn't work when you forced them. They were never heaven's design for you. And now you're stepping into divine flow. Everything that felt stuck is now breaking loose. The delays that confused you are now unraveling. The tears that dried on your pillow are now being turned into testimonies, because heaven never forgot and you were never invisible. God never turned away. He was waiting for the moment when your heart would say, I'm ready to trust again. And that moment is now. You are not returning to the same life. You're entering a transformed timeline. This is the shift people feel but don't always recognize. But your spirit knows this is destiny unfolding. And yes, it's unfolding fast. Too fast for some to understand. Too fast for some to follow. But not for you, because you were built for this. You were built for acceleration. You were built for glory, the oil of peace, the oil of strength, the oil of unstoppable favor. Beloved child, There's a reason people didn't understand your silence. They didn't know it was in your silence that God was building your voice. There's a reason you were hidden. It wasn't punishment. It was protection. There's a reason things didn't work when you forced them. They were never heaven's design for you. And now you're stepping into divine flow. Everything that felt stuck is now breaking loose. The delays that confused you are now unraveling. The tears that dried on your pillow are now being turned into testimonies. Because heaven never forgot, and you were never invisible. God never turned away. He was waiting for the moment when your heart would say, "I'm ready to trust again." And that moment is now. You are not returning to the same life. You're entering a transformed timeline. This is the shift people feel, but don't always recognize. But your spirit knows this is destiny unfolding. And yes, it's unfolding fast. Too fast for some to understand. Too fast for some to follow. But not for you. Because you were built for this. You were built for acceleration. You were built for glory. You were built to carry light in dark places. Beloved, do not try to explain what's happening to people who never heard heaven speak your name. Some won't get it. Some will judge it. Some will walk away. Let them. Because when God moves you into favor, He also moves you out of old rooms. You're not who you were when this message began. You've already been changed. Your energy is shifting. Your perception is expanding. Your identity is catching up with who heaven already said you were. Do you feel that? That's your spiritual DNA activating. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are right on divine time. Beloved, I must say something strong to you now. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. There is a short window, a divine portal. And in this moment, what you decide in your heart will shift the direction of your future. You must choose boldly. You must say yes loudly. You must agree with heaven intentionally, because your yes is a signature and it signs the scroll being written over your life. If you stay passive, nothing moves. But when you say, "I claim this out loud," heaven backs your words with fire. Don't just listen, declare. Don't just watch. Activate. Say it with me now. God, I receive everything with my name on it. I will not miss this moment. There it is. The realm just shifted. Even now, angels are taking record because your faith just unlocked a series of events. You think you're still sitting in your room, but spiritually, you're already standing in a throne room. Because heaven honors faith. Heaven rushes toward obedience. Beloved child, the road ahead may not be familiar, but it will be fruitful. You don't need all the answers. You just need full surrender. Miracles never come in straight lines. They come in sudden turns. And this moment is a turn, a divine detour, a supernatural curve in the road. And it leads to everything you prayed for. There will be restoration, not just of things, but of years. Yes, even the wasted time, even the missed opportunities, even the broken promises. Heaven is redeeming time. You thought it was too late, but God is outside of time, and He is placing you exactly where you were always meant to be. My beloved, heaven is not operating on the world's schedule. While others are chasing, you will be chosen. While others are forcing, you will be favored. While others are performing, you will be positioned because you surrendered. And surrender is the greatest signal heaven responds to. You don't need to fight anymore. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to beg anyone to see your value. The one who created you is validating you. And when God validates you, no man can discredit you. Let me tell you what's being lifted from your life. The spirit of fear. The fear of not being enough. The fear of starting again. The fear of never being seen. The fear of being rejected again. It's being lifted now. You are being cloaked in divine courage. This cloak will rest on your shoulders, and everywhere you walk, honor will follow. Not because you chased it, but because heaven placed it. Beloved child, soon you will forget what waiting felt like, because what's coming will be so overwhelming in beauty and timing. You will say, "How did it all happen so quickly?" And the answer will be simple. God moved. You didn't make it happen. Heaven released it. All you did was stay faithful. All you did was keep your spirit open. All you did was whisper yes. And now the divine flood is coming. Your health will improve. Your mind will stabilize. Your creativity will return. Your relationships will be blessed. Your finances will align. Your sleep will be sweet. Not because you earned it, but because you aligned with it, my beloved. It's not about striving. It's about surrender. And you've surrendered enough. Now you shall receive. This is what miracles look like. They don't come when everything is perfect. They come when your heart is fully open. And your heart is open. Now stay here for one more moment. Let this stillness baptize you. You are not the same person who began reading. Your soul has expanded. Your spirit has awakened. And your future has been shifted. Let these final words seal this message. You are marked. You are covered. You are rising. Jesus spoke your name. The angels have taken flight. And Archangel Michael now stands at your side. No weapon formed against you shall stand. No tongue that rises shall prevail. No delay shall linger. No enemy shall remain. You are being lifted. You are being crowned. You are being reborn. And the world is about to witness it all because your name was spoken. And heaven never forgets a name it speaks. Now walk, beloved. Walk as one chosen. Walk as one called. Walk as one crowned. Your time has finally come. Your finances will align. Your sleep will be sweet. Not because you earned it, but because you aligned with it, my beloved. It's not about striving. It's about surrender. And you've surrendered enough. Now you shall receive. This is what miracles look like. They don't come when everything is perfect. They come when your heart is fully open, and your heart is open now. Stay here for one more moment. Let this stillness baptize you. You are not the same person who began reading. Your soul has expanded. Your spirit has awakened. And your future has been shifted. Let these final words seal this message. You are marked. You are covered. You are rising. Jesus spoke your name. The angels have taken flight. And Archangel Michael now stands at your side. No weapon formed against you shall stand. No tongue that rises shall prevail. No delay shall linger. No enemy shall remain. You are being lifted. You are being crowned. You are being reborn. And the world is about to witness it all. Because your name was spoken, and heaven never forgets a name it speaks. Now walk, beloved, walk as one chosen. Walk as one called. Walk as one crowned. Your time has finally come. My child, my beloved, you stayed. Even when your soul was weary, even when your heart was trembling, even when you didn't understand the delays, you stayed. And heaven saw that. Because when others gave up, you whispered, I will wait on God. And now heaven has whispered back, I will reward you in full. You are not walking into a small blessing. You are walking into divine repayment. Everything you lost, everything that was stolen, everything that collapsed when you gave it your all, is now being restored by the hand of the Lord Himself. You were not crazy for believing. You were not weak for holding on. You were not foolish for dreaming. You were brave. You were faithful. You were seen. And now you are being chosen publicly. Yes, the one they overlooked, the one they left out, the one they laughed at behind closed doors. That is the one heaven is raising in front of nations. That is the one heaven is blessing in full view. That is the one heaven is surrounding with signs and wonders. Because what was hidden in pain is now being revealed in purpose. You did not suffer for nothing. Your tears weren't wasted. Your losses were not empty. God was writing something far deeper. And now that divine story is ready to be seen. Beloved, you are not behind. You are being brought forward not by human hands, but by a divine wind. This wind is carrying you now, not pushing you, lifting you, escorting you. Because this new chapter doesn't require effort. It requires surrender. And that surrender is already in you. Let me tell you what heaven is releasing in this hour. Supernatural favor that bypasses systems. Opportunities that require no explanation. Peace that silences anxiety instantly. Encounters that open your spiritual eyes. Breakthroughs that undo years of warfare in a single moment. Because this isn't a small shift. This is a divine unveiling. You are stepping out of delay. You are stepping into destiny. And every part of creation is rejoicing with you. The earth feels it. The angels know it. And now your soul is catching up to what heaven already declared. You are not the same. You will never be the same. This is divine transformation. Beloved, do not be surprised when people come back asking how you did it. Do not be surprised when doors open you didn't knock on. Do not be surprised when your name is honored in places you've never stepped. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is covenant. God made a promise. And now that promise is unfolding. Even the things you forgot to pray for, they are being added unto you. Because this is an overflow hour. You won't just receive. You will overflow. Your voice will carry healing. Your hands will carry light. Your eyes will see visions. Your sleep will become prophetic. Your breath can become peace for someone else, because what God is healing within you was never meant to end with you. The wisdom you gained through difficult seasons can eventually become comfort, courage, and direction for people who are still struggling. That is why the battle sometimes felt so intense. Fear grew loud whenever hope began returning. But darkness does not have authority over every chapter of your life. What God is building through truth, healing, and faith can continue despite what tried to stop you. You are moving toward a deeper kind of justice, not necessarily the apology you once hoped to receive, but the restoration that comes when your life is no longer controlled by what others did to you. Some people who misunderstood you may eventually notice how much you have changed. You will not need to argue with them. A calmer life, stronger boundaries, restored confidence, and healthier choices can speak more clearly than any explanation ever could. Beloved, hear this directly. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. You are not permanently defined by the painful things that happened to you. You are still loved, still capable of growth, and still able to move toward something better. Perhaps heaven was not silent during the waiting. Perhaps preparation was happening through lessons you could not understand while you were living them. Now, certain pieces may be beginning to make more sense. Do not rush because excitement has returned. Do not let fear push you backward either. Keep walking slowly enough to remain wise, one breath at a time, one responsible decision at a time, one answered prayer at a time. There may come a day when you stand somewhere you once only imagined and realize how far you traveled to reach it. The tears may come, not because every painful moment was necessary, but because you survived what once seemed impossible. You may whisper, "God, you brought me through." Let that become gratitude rather than proof that every hardship was secretly planned. Pain can be real and still become part of a story that ultimately leads toward strength. Imagine the page turning now. Your story no longer needs to be centered on what broke you. Let the next chapter be called, "I became the evidence." Evidence that faith can remain after disappointment. Evidence that surrender can coexist with wise action. Evidence that healing can happen gradually. Evidence that light can continue shining even after long seasons of darkness. You do not need to prove miracles to anyone. Let your transformed way of living speak for itself. Let people see greater peace in your responses, greater clarity in your decisions, and more compassion in the way you treat yourself and others. Beloved, the world needs people who have learned how to carry hope without pretending pain never existed. Your story can become useful precisely because you understand what it means to struggle and still choose not to surrender completely. So walk forward without fear. Let God's presence surround you, but also let His wisdom shape what happens within you. The light you carry becomes strongest when it is expressed through honesty, kindness, courage, and responsibility. My child, my beloved, you have reached the edge of something new. Do not assume you are about to fall simply because the ground feels unfamiliar. Sometimes the edge of an old chapter is exactly where a new one begins. Everything behind you contributed something, even if some experiences only taught you what you never want to repeat. The detours taught patience. The heartbreaks taught discernment. The disappointments taught you where your boundaries needed to become stronger. Now gather those lessons without carrying every wound. You are allowed to take the wisdom and leave behind the weight. You are allowed to honor what happened without remaining trapped inside it. What comes next does not require you to become someone entirely different. It asks you to become more fully the person you were always capable of becoming: grounded, courageous, peaceful, discerning, and willing to keep walking with God. This is not the end of your story. It is the moment when survival begins becoming testimony, when pain begins becoming wisdom, and when the light you almost lost becomes something you are finally ready to carry openly. Archangel Michael says, "My child, your destiny is asking for your attention. You are not here by mistake. Something within you has been searching for clarity, movement, and a reason to believe that the long season of waiting is beginning to change. Do not let a countdown frighten you into thinking heaven will abandon you if you move slowly. There are moments when action matters, but genuine guidance does not need panic. Let this become a call to wake up, pay attention, and stop delaying what you already know requires your courage. Perhaps your life has been preparing you quietly for a turning point. Not because one appointed hour will magically rewrite everything, but because enough lessons, disappointments, prayers, and realizations have finally brought you to a place where change is possible. My child, the miracle is not pushed farther away every time you hesitate. God is not standing over a clock waiting for you to fail. But fear, avoidance, and indecision can keep you from taking practical steps toward opportunities that are already within reach. So pause the noise for a moment and listen honestly. What cycle are you ready to interrupt? Is it scarcity, loneliness, unhealthy attachment, self-doubt, or the belief that your future must resemble everything that happened before? You do not have to break every pattern in one dramatic moment. Begin with one choice, one boundary, one conversation, one application, one financial decision, one act of courage that tells your old life it no longer controls your direction. If you notice warmth, nervousness, or a flutter in your chest while reading, do not force those sensations to prove a supernatural presence. Let them simply remind you that these words may be touching something emotionally important within you. Imagine Archangel Michael wrapping you in courage rather than urgency. Let his presence symbolize protection, clarity, and the strength to look directly at what needs to change, without allowing fear to exaggerate what you cannot yet know. If these messages encourage your faith, subscribe and remain connected because you value the support. Heaven does not need a subscription to find you, and your destiny does not disappear because you missed a future message. Now, listen closely. In the coming season, things that were hidden may become clearer. A stuck situation may begin moving. A closed door may reopen, or you may finally recognize that another door was available all along. But alignment is not magic. It means bringing your choices into agreement with your values, your faith, your responsibilities, and the truth of your circumstances. That kind of alignment can change what becomes possible. Do not become obsessed with a particular date or invisible spiritual clock. Let the appointed moment be the moment when clarity becomes strong enough for you to act wisely. Your name does not need to be called in some unseen courtroom for your life to matter. God already knows your name, your history, your fears, and the prayers you could barely put into words. You have endured pain others may never fully understand. You have experienced betrayals that made you cautious and carried dreams that sometimes felt too large to survive repeated disappointment. None of that makes you late. It makes you experienced. The important question now is whether you will use that experience to become wiser, or allow it to become another reason to remain frozen. My beloved, your next season will not be built by urgency alone. It will be built by courage, discernment, consistency, and faith that is willing to take practical form. So do not rush because someone told you time is running out. Move because something has become clear. Pray because you need wisdom. Prepare because opportunities deserve readiness. And when the right door opens, walk through without apologizing for how long it took you to get there. Pushed aside by reality. But heaven saw it all, and heaven has waited for this exact moment to return it all to you, multiplied, miraculously, magnetically. But there is a warning. There are spiritual forces that do not want you to receive this message. They have tried to distract you. They've made you tired. They've made you doubt. They've whispered maybe later. But they know if you say yes today, their hold on your future is broken. So I ask you now, will you keep reading? Will you stay open? Will you let this message reach the deepest part of your soul? Because the miracle is not waiting for someday. It is scheduled for you on the appointed moment. And if you turn away now, you may miss what your soul came to earth for. This is not just a message. It's a divine intervention, my beloved child. You have cried in silence. You've begged heaven to send a sign. You've looked at others and wondered, when will it be my turn? I'm here to tell you, it is your turn. But you have one day left to spiritually prepare, one day to align, one day to receive, one day to accept the inheritance of light that has always been yours. The truth, nothing can block this unless you block it. Not the enemy, not your past, not your mistakes, not even time, but doubt, delay, disbelief. These are the enemies now. And child, I see your soul shining like fire under layers of fear and forgetfulness. But I also see a crown waiting to be placed on your head, a promise waiting to be fulfilled. Everything begins on the appointed moment. But you must claim it before that gate opens. You must say yes before the scrolls are sealed. What scrolls? The scroll of destiny, the scroll that carries your name, your blessings, your legacy. Heaven has already written your chapter. But only you can turn the page. You are not here for a small life. You are not meant to survive. You are chosen to thrive. But there is something urgent, something that must be exposed before that appointed moment. Something or someone around you has silently delayed your breakthrough, and you will begin to see them clearly as soon as you read to the end, because the veil is lifting. And the truth, it will shock you. Your destiny was never delayed, only hidden. And now it's time to rise. Do not underestimate this calling. This is not just another spiritual message. This is a divine announcement, an echo from the courts of heaven saying, "It is time." You will begin to feel things shifting. You may dream more. You may feel surges of energy. You may cry unexpectedly. All of it is a sign that the Holy Spirit is preparing your soil. But you must act in the Spirit. You must receive this like the sacred prophecy. It is because, child, you are next. You are chosen, and there's only one day left before the door swings open, and never closes the same way again. And child, if your soul is still with me, then you've already chosen what most people will miss. You've chosen to stay awake when others are falling asleep again. You've chosen to believe when the world told you to settle. You've chosen to keep reading. Even while your fears screamed, nothing changes. But something in you knows. This time, it's different. This time, something holy is breathing through the screen because it is. Heaven is closer than it's ever been to you right now. Can you feel the atmosphere shifting? That's not your imagination. That's the divine realm stepping closer to you. Because the decision you're making now is echoing through dimensions. Your soul has waited lifetimes for this return. This remembering this moment where all timelines collapse into one. And that one is now. But I must show you something urgent. There is a pattern in your life, one that keeps repeating. It looks different on the outside, but spiritually it's the same trap. Every time you rise, every time you prepare to soar, something or someone close to you gets triggered by your light. And suddenly, you dim yourself again. You delay again. You doubt again. That cycle must break now. And child, if your soul is still with me, then you've already chosen what most people will miss. You've chosen to stay awake when others are falling asleep again. You've chosen to believe when the world told you to settle. You've chosen to keep reading. Even while your fears screamed, nothing changes. But something in you knows. This time, it's different. This time, something holy is breathing through the screen. Because it is. Heaven is closer than it's ever been to you right now. Can you feel the atmosphere shifting? That's not your imagination. That's the divine realm stepping closer to you. Because the decision you're making now is echoing through dimensions. Your soul has waited lifetimes for this return. This remembering this moment where all timelines collapse into one. And that one is now. But I must show you something urgent. There is a pattern in your life. One that keeps repeating. It looks different on the outside, but spiritually, it's the same trap. Every time you rise, every time you prepare to soar, something or someone close to you gets triggered by your light. And suddenly, you dim yourself again. You delay again. You doubt again. That cycle must break now. Because what's waiting on the appointed moment can only arrive if you're no longer shrinking. Your soul was carved from the fires of divine authority. You carry an assignment too big for compromise, and heaven will not allow you to pretend anymore. No more hiding your gift. No more ignoring the nudges. No more sitting at tables that drain your spirit. You were not created to beg. You were born to command. But first, you must remember who you are. So, let me remind you, you are not just a human. You are a spiritual being clothed in skin, walking a divine path that was spoken before your mother ever knew your name. You carry favor. You carry healing. You carry a sword in the spirit, even if you forgot where you laid it. But now you are being summoned, not by me, not by this page, but by your Creator, the one who formed your soul and whispered, "Send this child into the earth for such a time as this." And beloved, this is the time. You've passed through fires that should have destroyed you. You've survived betrayals that should have silenced you. You've danced with darkness and still chosen the light. Heaven has watched it all. Every choice, every tear, every silent. Yes, when no one was looking. And now the scales are tipping. Now justice is arriving. Not the justice of man, but divine justice. The kind that restores what was stolen. The kind that reveals what was hidden. The kind that makes you say, only God could have done this. And child, that kind is scheduled to begin in your life on the appointed moment. But hear me carefully. You don't wait for miracles by doing nothing. You prepare for them by shifting your spirit, and your shift starts now. There are 3 doors opening for you. One will bring wealth. One will bring truth. One will bring love. But before you step through them, you must pass one final test. The test of identity. Who will you believe you are when the world says otherwise? Will you believe what the enemy whispered in your weakest moment? Or will you believe what God spoke over your soul in the secret place? Because, child, your next breakthrough won't come through effort. It will come through alignment. When you stop fighting who you truly are, everything will begin to chase you. Your gifts will flow again. Your intuition will sharpen. Your voice will carry authority. And those who once doubted you will witness your rise. But first, you must release the old labels. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not too late. You are being preserved. You are not unlucky. You are being prepared. Heaven never forgot you, even when you forgot yourself. And now the divine is knocking again. Not loudly, not with fear, but with a sacred whisper. Come higher, child. It's time. So rise. Rise from the grief you didn't deserve. Rise from the silence that almost swallowed your voice. Rise from the cycles that felt permanent. Rise from the lies they spoke over you. Rise from the belief that you are not enough because you are more than enough. You are overflowing. You are marked. Marked by light. Marked by favor. Marked by prophecy. There's a scroll in heaven with your name written in gold, and it are the chapters still unwritten, not by God, but by you, because free will is holy. And today, you are writing your next chapter with your decision to keep going. This message is your permission slip to take the next step boldly, to end what no longer serves, to walk away from delay, to walk into your destiny. You don't need permission from anyone else. You've already been anointed, and your anointing cannot be canceled. But now, listen, you have 1 day left, 1 day to align, 1 day to command what is yours, 1 day to prepare your heart for what's coming, 1 day to make peace with your past, 1 day to rise with clarity, knowing heaven has already gone before you. On the appointed moment, the gate opens, and when it does, there will be no turning back, because what you will receive will make sense of everything you've ever lost. It will redeem the lost years. It will silence the doubters. It will heal the wounds that still ache when no one's watching. But only if you're ready. So I ask you, beloved, will you be ready? Will you keep reading? Will you say yes with your soul? Will you subscribe to this divine calling that's chasing you? Will you awaken fully, even if those around you stay asleep? Because, child, the world is not waiting. Time is not pausing. And your miracle is not far. It's knocking. Now, child, if you're still here, then your soul has already accepted the call, and heaven is watching because only the few stay to the end. Only the chosen continue walking when the crowd turns back. And you, my beloved, have proven with your spirit. You are not ordinary. Now listen. But now listen. You have 1 day left, 1 day to align, 1 day to command what is yours, 1 day to prepare your heart for what's coming, 1 day to make peace with your past, 1 day to rise with clarity, knowing heaven has already gone before you. On the appointed moment, the gate opens, and when it does, there will be no turning back, because what you will receive will make sense of everything you've ever lost. It will redeem the lost years. It will silence the doubters. It will heal the wounds that still ache when no one's watching. But only if you're ready. So I ask you, beloved, will you be ready? Will you keep reading? Will you say yes with your soul? Will you subscribe to this divine calling that's chasing you? Will you awaken fully, even if those around you stay asleep? Because, child, the world is not waiting. Time is not pausing. And your miracle is not far. It's knocking now. Child, if you're still here, then your soul has already accepted the call. And heaven is watching, because only the few stay to the end. Only the chosen continue walking. When the crowd turns back, and you, my beloved, have proven, with your spirit, you are not ordinary. Now listen, because what I'm about to reveal is going to change how you see everything. You are surrounded not by people, but by energies. Some of them are divine, and others are not. There is a spiritual presence in your atmosphere that has been watching you, tracking you, trying to delay what is coming. They saw your star rising. They saw the divine favor forming around you, and they tried everything to keep you silent, small, distracted, and sometimes they used people you trusted, people who smiled in your face but feared what you were becoming. Someone close to you, child, has not been sent. They were planted to watch you, to weaken you, to whisper fear in your ear when your light got too bright. And I must be honest with you now. This person cannot go with you into the next season of your life, because what is waiting for you after the appointed moment is too sacred to be contaminated, too rare to be surrounded by betrayal. This person may look harmless, but their energy reveals them. They constantly talk you down. They doubt your dreams. They celebrate you only when you're small, but vanish when your light begins to rise. Watch them closely, not with suspicion, but with discernment, because in the next few days they will reveal themselves, not with words, but through discomfort, jealousy, silence, or manipulation. And when they do not cry, do not chase, do not explain, just bless them and walk away. Because walking away from who they are is the only way to walk into who you are becoming. Child, there are some people who only loved the version of you that didn't know their power. But that version is gone now. You're not confused anymore. You're not softening yourself to fit in. You're not begging for permission. You are becoming the version of yourself that heaven always knew was real. And now we must talk about your home, because something sacred is about to shift inside the walls of the house you are living in. You may have felt it already, a heaviness in certain corners, a strange energy when you try to rest, a feeling of unsettledness like you're meant to move, but you don't know where or why. Listen to me. There is spiritual energy that has been lingering in your home, energy of the past, words spoken in anger, tears shed in silence, disappointments that stained the walls, fears that echoed through your nights. And heaven says it is time to clear the space, because the home you are in is either going to be 1, a portal of miracles, or 2, a prison of delay, and the choice is yours. You don't have to move physically, but you must move spiritually. Anoint your home, bless your bed, speak over your walls. Open your windows and say anything not from God must go. Because, child, the next blessing coming to you is not small, and it will not rest where shadows remain. You are making room now, not just for peace, but for promise, because what is coming will shake your entire foundation. Some of you will receive letters of approval, sudden finances, a key to a new home, a long-awaited message, or a release from something that kept you bound. And it will all begin from within your own atmosphere. Your home is either hiding your breakthrough, or it's holding it. Clean, speak, pray, prepare, because heaven is coming to visit. And when it does, you want the door open. Now I must give you the final piece, the most sacred truth of all. Why now? Why the appointed moment? Why this message? Why you? Because this date was always written into your timeline. Before you were born, before you were hurt, before you failed, before you gave up on your own light, God wrote this day. As the day when your soul would remember, as the moment when the divine curtain would lift and everything would begin to move finally, because you were never cursed. You were covered. You were not rejected. You were reserved. You are not behind. You are on time for the most powerful shift of your entire life. And you are not alone. Right now, heaven has assigned 7 angels to your side. Yes, 7. Each for a different area of your destiny. 1 for your protection. 2 for your financial overflow. 3 for healing your emotional body. 4 for divine love to appear. 5 for your creative gifts to unlock. 6 for spiritual clarity. 7 for alignment with your highest calling. These angels are not coming. They are already here. The moment you said yes in your heart, they stood at attention. But they can only act when you stay in belief, when you stay surrendered, when you prepare the atmosphere, because miracles are not random. They are magnetized by alignment. And child, you are in alignment right now. Just by receiving these words, just by opening your spirit, just by refusing to scroll away, you are the chosen one. Not because you're perfect. God wrote this day as the day when your soul would remember, as the moment when the divine curtain would lift and everything would begin to move. Finally, because you were never cursed, you were covered. You were not rejected. You were reserved. You are not behind. You are on time for the most powerful shift of your entire life. And you are not alone. Right now, heaven has assigned 7 angels to your side. Yes, 7 each for a different area of your destiny. 1 for your protection. 2 for your financial overflow. 3 for healing your emotional body. 4 for divine love. 5 let this become a prayer for your creative gifts to awaken. 6. Let it represent spiritual clarity. 7. Let it remind you to align your choices with the calling God has placed on your life and with the values you know you need to protect. Imagine angelic support already surrounding your journey, not waiting for perfection, but meeting you in surrender, prayer, and willingness. Let that image strengthen your faith without making you believe that every outcome depends on maintaining a perfect emotional state. Miracles are not controlled by your vibration or manufactured through pressure. But alignment can still matter in a practical way. When your thoughts, choices, habits, and faith begin moving in the same healthy direction, new possibilities become easier to recognize. My child, you do not need to prove you are chosen by staying on a screen. What matters is that your heart remained open through disappointment, heartbreak, and uncertainty. That openness gave healing somewhere to begin. Heaven saw the moments when you kept loving despite pain, when you prayed without immediate answers, and when you continued searching for truth even after disappointment made trust difficult. Let those moments remind you how much strength already exists within you. Change may begin appearing in many areas of your life: relationships, opportunities, finances, health habits, creativity, dreams, and the clarity with which you make decisions. But let each change be recognized carefully, rather than forced into a prediction. An opportunity in your inbox may arrive. Money may become easier to manage. Your body may feel stronger as you care for it consistently. Old dreams may return because your mind finally has enough space to imagine something beyond survival. Some things that once seemed confusing may begin making sense because you have gained perspective. Timing can look different when you stop demanding immediate answers and begin understanding what earlier seasons were teaching you. Weeks from now, you may look back on this period and realize that something truly did begin here, not because one message magically altered your destiny, but because you decided to stop remaining passive about the life you wanted to rebuild. Now breathe slowly. Close your eyes for a moment if that helps you become still, and speak these words quietly within yourself. I receive what is healthy and good for me. I release what no longer belongs in my life. I align my choices with God's wisdom. I trust His timing while taking responsibility for my next step. Continue. I remain open to unexpected blessings. I welcome wise guidance. I choose to rise after disappointment. I choose faith without abandoning discernment. I choose to become more fully the person God is teaching me to be. Now, open your eyes and become present again. You do not need to imagine that your vibration has instantly changed or that an invisible countdown has begun. What matters is what you choose to carry from this moment forward. Let the shift begin through your actions. Speak differently where your old voice remained silent. Set the boundary you have avoided. Finish one task you have postponed. Pray honestly. Rest when your body needs it. Ask for help when wisdom requires it. If an important date or opportunity is approaching, prepare for it carefully. Divine timing does not remove practical responsibility. It can inspire you to become ready enough to recognize and respond when the right door appears. Beloved, if your heart feels full right now, let that fullness become gratitude rather than urgency. You do not need to chase the miracle. Stay prayerful, observant, and willing to move when clarity becomes real. The greatest shift may already be happening in the way you see yourself. You are no longer waiting helplessly for life to begin. You are learning how to participate in your healing, your purpose, and your future with faith, wisdom, and courage. Your soul feels awakened. Then stay close to this channel. Stay subscribed to the divine voice here because more messages are coming. Messages with your name written on them. Do not miss what heaven is whispering next because the curtain is only just beginning to lift. And what is revealed will be greater than anything you've ever imagined. It is time now. Go, rise, prepare, clear your space, watch the signs. Let go of the ones who shrink your light, and get ready to receive what has been delayed for too long. This is the season of revelation, restoration, reward, and you, my child, are ready for all three. I will be with you always. Archangel Michael, messenger of the Most High, sword of divine justice, defender of the chosen. My child, my beloved, you are still here, and because you are still here, you have just crossed a divine threshold. Not everyone makes it this far. Not everyone can handle this level of truth. But you have proved something to heaven that you are not just interested in miracles. You are ready for them, prepared, aligned, willing to walk in faith when it makes no sense to the mind. And now the miracle must begin. Listen to me carefully. What is about to happen in your life will appear sudden on the outside, but in the spirit it has been forming for years. There are things you prayed for and gave up on, things you cried about and eventually buried, visions you tucked away because life felt too loud. But child, those prayers did not die. They were planted, and now the ground is breaking, not with chaos, but with promise. The roots have been watered, the soil has been tilled by angels, and the bloom is beginning to rise from underneath what once looked dead. People around you won't understand how fast things will move. They'll call it luck. They'll call it coincidence. But you will know it was always divine timing. You are about to see opportunities that skipped past you before now chase you down. Doors that were locked now swing wide open. Hearts that turned cold now seek your presence. And you must be ready, ready to receive without guilt, ready to say yes without explaining yourself, ready to rise without apologizing, because this time your miracle is not partial. It is full, and with it comes a final release. There is something a tie, a soul cord, a trauma that has clung to you like a shadow, a memory, a mistake, an old story you've been carrying. And heaven says it cannot follow you any longer because where you are going, there are new people waiting, new frequencies calling, new assignments awakening, and they cannot meet the version of you that still feels unworthy to shine. So release it now. Lay it down. Whatever you've been carrying that told you you were less than divine, let it be lifted. You are no longer the version of you that needed to earn love, prove worth, beg to be seen. You are seen now. You are chosen now. You are anointed now. And nothing, not even your past, can disqualify you from what God has already prepared. Now pause, because I must tell you something deeper, something few know. There are moments in history when the heavens open in unusual ways, moments when divine contracts are signed, when chosen ones receive a new mantle, a spiritual coronation, an activation of purpose and child. This is one of those moments. Not in theory, not symbolically, but literally. If your soul is vibrating as you read this, it is full, and with it comes a final release. There is something, a tie, a soul cord, a trauma that has clung to you like a shadow, a memory, a mistake, an old story you've been carrying. And heaven says it cannot follow you any longer because where you are going. There are new people waiting, new frequencies calling, new assignments awakening, and they cannot meet the version of you that still feels unworthy to shine. So release it now. Lay it down. Whatever you've been carrying that told you you were less than divine, let it be lifted. You are no longer the version of you that needed to earn love. Prove worth. Beg to be seen. You are seen now. You are chosen now. You are anointed now, and nothing, not even your past, can disqualify you from what God has already prepared. Now pause, because I must tell you something deeper, something few know. There are moments in history when the heavens open in unusual ways, moments when divine contracts are signed, when chosen ones receive a new mantle, a spiritual coronation, an activation of purpose and child. This is one of those moments, not in theory, not symbolically, but literally. If your soul is vibrating as you read this, it is because your name has been called. You are being handed something in the realm of spirit that will change everything, in the natural. This is what I see, a scroll unrolling in front of the throne, your name glowing in gold fire, an angel placing a robe around your shoulders, and a voice saying, "This child has passed the test. Now crown them with destiny." Yes, it's happening now. You are receiving a new mantle, a new mission, a new level of favor that no man can explain, and no enemy can reverse. But with this favor comes sacred responsibility. You must protect what is now being birthed, because the more you rise, the more the shadows will try to distract. Distraction is the last weapon the enemy has left because they can no longer touch your blessing, but they can try to delay your focus. So be sharp now. Watch what you allow into your mind. Guard your ears. Guard your time. Guard your peace. Because what's forming around you requires undivided attention. You are being trusted with something holy. The next few days will bring signs, repeated numbers, prophetic dreams, sudden urges to clean, pray, or speak out, unusual clarity in conversations, chills, and moments of silence. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. You are walking into your divine timeline, your destined alignment, and there will be no going back. So what do you do now? You surrender deeper. You act boldly. You claim what is yours in the Spirit. Start preparing like the miracle is already here. Start clearing space like the blessing has already arrived. Start organizing your life not around who you were, but around who you are becoming, because you are becoming royalty. You are becoming who your ancestors prayed for. You are becoming the answer to someone else's cry, and heaven cannot allow you to shrink anymore. From this moment forward, you will see the following begin to unfold. A divine relationship will enter or be revealed. A financial shift will break a long-standing cycle. A truth will be shown about someone. Near you, a dream you once gave up on will return. A door will open where there was once no way. A prophetic confirmation will shake your spirit. And all of this will flow from the choice you're making right now to believe, to stay open, to prepare. Because, child, you were never waiting for the miracle. The miracle was waiting for you. And now it's ready. Now heaven moves. I will end this message with a divine decree. Say it out loud. Whisper it. Feel it in your bones. But say it as the truth that it is. I now step into my divine timeline. I claim the miracle prepared for me. I release all fear and delay. I walk in divine favor. I trust the timing of my life. I surrender to the will of God. I am ready. I am chosen. I am called. I am loved. And now, beloved, let go of what was, and open your hands to what is coming. This is not the end. This is your moment. This is your rising. This is your divine return. I will walk beside you, every step, every moment, until you reach the place that was always meant to be yours. It is time. Welcome home, chosen one, my child, my beloved. There is something you need to hear now, not later, not when it's safe, not when you figured everything out. Now, because the Spirit of truth is rising, the veil is falling, and what was hidden in the dark is about to be dragged into the light. Yes, even if it hurts. Yes, even if it's someone you love, you already feel it, don't you? That unsettling feeling when they speak to you, the way your body tightens when they enter the room, the way your spirit recoils, even while your mouth still says they're family. But child, not everyone born into your family was assigned to your destiny, and not everyone who shares your blood carries your blessing. I say this with love, but also with urgency. Someone around you has been faking their loyalty, and heaven has been watching. You thought you were imagining it. You blamed yourself for being paranoid. You kept quiet because you didn't want to cause drama. But in silence, you suffered. In silence, you questioned. In silence, you allowed a snake to sit at your table. And now the consequences have begun. You felt blocked. You've been delayed. Your prayers have echoed with no return. Every time you try to rise, something pulls you back. Someone pulls you back. It is not coincidence. It is spiritual interference. And child, it is time to expose the root. Yes, the name is coming. But first, you must understand something deeper. This is not just about betrayal. It's about spiritual bloodlines, about the fact that you were chosen to break something that has haunted your family for generations. Cycles of envy, patterns of sabotage, spirits of confusion, poverty, and silence. Even while your mouth still says they're family, but child, not everyone born into your family was assigned to your destiny, and not everyone who shares your blood carries your blessing. I say this with love, but also with urgency. Someone around you has been faking their loyalty, and heaven has been watching. You thought you were imagining it. You blamed yourself for being paranoid. You kept quiet because you didn't want to cause drama. But in silence, you suffered. In silence, you questioned. In silence, you allowed a snake to sit at your table. And now the consequences have begun. You felt blocked. You've been delayed. Your prayers have echoed with no return. Every time you try to rise, something pulls you back. Someone pulls you back. It is not coincidence. It is spiritual interference. And child, it is time to expose the root. Yes, the name is coming. But first, you must understand something deeper. This is not just about betrayal. It's about spiritual bloodlines, about the fact that you were chosen to break something that has haunted your family for generations. Cycles of envy, patterns of sabotage, spirits of confusion, poverty, and silence. You didn't just inherit a family. You inherited a war. And you were born to end it. That's why you've always been different. Why they picked on you. Why they talked behind your back. Why your wins made them uncomfortable. Because your very existence threatens the demons they still protect. They sensed it before you did, that you are the one who wouldn't stay small, the one who hears God clearly, the one who carries fire in their bones, and they hated you for it. Even if they smiled, even if they brought gifts, even if they posted pictures with you online, there was always a silent plan behind the performance, a slow drain, a calculated closeness, so they could stay near your power, but never clap for your eyes. And child, one of them has now crossed a line. Heaven allowed it, not to punish you, but to reveal the truth so deeply that you'll never ignore it again. So, here it is. The betrayer is someone who always pretended to be neutral. They never picked sides. They never spoke up, but they were always listening and quietly reporting everything you said. They are close, closer than you think. They may call you sister. They may call you son. They may be the one who always says, "I just want peace." But behind closed doors, they've poisoned others against you. Yes, them. They have smiled in your face, then turned and laughed at your pain. They've shared your secrets, twisted your words, and made you the villain in stories you weren't even part of. And now, heaven is lifting the veil over the next 72 hours. You will notice something strange, a slip of the tongue, a conversation overheard, a message accidentally forwarded, a family member suddenly pulling away, a dream that shows a face clearly. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven is revealing the one who sat like a seed of sabotage in your garden. But do not panic. Do not argue. Do not confront, because, child, this is not your battle. This is a spiritual eviction. The snake is being removed, not by your hands, but by the hand of justice, the hand of God. Because what they touched was sacred. They thought they were playing with gossip, but they were playing with destiny. And heaven never allows destiny to be tampered with unpunished. So now the divine reversal begins. Everything they spoke against you will now return to their own lives. Every lie they spread will now unravel around them. Every curse they muttered will now expose the darkness in their own heart, because justice is not delayed. And child, you will rise, not in anger, not in revenge, but in glory, because while they were plotting, you were praying, and while they were lying, you were healing, and while they were mocking, you were growing. And now heaven is rewarding. Everything they tried to take from you will be restored. Every relationship they ruined will be replaced. Every seed of doubt they planted will now grow into discernment. You have learned something many people never do. Even betrayal can become a bridge, not because the pain was good, but because what you learned from it can carry you toward a wiser life, healthier relationships, stronger boundaries, and deeper peace. My child, you will not only survive what happened, you can grow beyond it. One day, the people who expected you to remain broken may notice that you still smile, still rise, still love, and still refuse to let their actions decide who you become. Do not build your healing around whether they regret what they did. Their discomfort is not your reward. Your peace is. Your clarity is. Your ability to move forward without carrying bitterness into every new relationship is the real victory. You are not merely protected. You are being called toward a cleaner way of living, one where you choose peace without becoming passive, kindness without becoming unguarded, and forgiveness without surrendering the boundaries that keep you safe. Whatever another person tried to do cannot automatically cancel the good still available to you. Their betrayal may have changed part of your story, but it does not receive permission to write every chapter that follows. Perhaps something has finally become clear. A pattern you once ignored is now visible. A relationship no longer feels trustworthy. A truth you resisted has become difficult to deny. If so, let clarity guide you without turning uncertainty into paranoia. Once you understand what happened, you do not need to spend your life watching the person who hurt you. Turn your attention toward what you are building now. Let heaven handle what belongs outside your control. My child, my beloved, God has seen your entire story. He saw the moments when someone smiled while hiding dishonesty, when affection was mixed with manipulation, or when familiar words made harmful behavior harder to recognize. But being mistreated does not mean you need a heavenly courtroom to declare your worth. You can know that another person behaved wrongly without making yourself permanently responsible for proving your innocence to everyone. You are not the failure of your family simply because you chose to interrupt unhealthy patterns. Sometimes the person who finally says no to secrecy, manipulation, disrespect, or repeated harm is the person creating the possibility of something healthier. That does not make you superior to anyone who came before you. It simply means you have become willing to examine what was passed down and decide consciously what deserves to continue and what needs to stop. If someone falsely accused you, misunderstood you, or attacked what mattered deeply to you, remember that their interpretation does not have final authority over your identity. Let your character and consistent behavior reveal what arguments cannot. You have been quiet for a long time, perhaps because you valued peace more than confrontation. But peace does not require silence when something genuinely needs to be addressed. There are moments when love must include truth. There are moments when compassion needs boundaries. And there are moments when protecting harmony by hiding reality only allows the same unhealthy pattern to continue. Let justice rise within you as clarity rather than revenge. Speak when speaking is necessary. Document what needs documenting. Establish boundaries where behavior has repeatedly crossed them, and seek appropriate help when the situation requires more than conversation. You do not need to curse anyone, expose everyone publicly, or wait for punishment before you can heal. Your task is simpler and stronger. See clearly, respond wisely, release what you cannot control, then continue walking. What happened may always remain part of your history, but it does not have to remain the center of your identity. Take the lesson, protect the wisdom, and leave behind the obsession with whether those who hurt you ever understand what they lost. Your next chapter can be quieter, cleaner, and more peaceful precisely because you no longer need chaos to confirm that something is happening. Beloved, betrayal was something you experienced. It is not who you are. Let the bridge carry you forward now, toward a life where truth is spoken, love is discerning, boundaries are respected, and your peace no longer depends on someone else admitting they were wrong.